Today, I'm going to be talking about things that women should never do when dating a man. I'm going to save the best for last, so make sure you watch this video all the way into the end so you don't miss that. Number one, being to never be his second mother. And what I mean by being his second mother, a lot of women go into relationships becoming the mother figure, telling him what he needs to do, motivating him. You should never have to tell a grown man to turn the video games off, or you should never have to tell a grown man to maybe start that business because you've been thinking about it, but he's just too lazy to start it. That's a huge red flag. And the man that you want is not going to need motivation from you. He's the leader. You should never have to motivate him to stop eating snacks. You should never have to motivate him to get into the gym. If he cannot lead his own life, how could he ever lead a relationship? He's certainly not going to be able to lead you or lead the kids. So that's just something you have to avoid. You feel like you're being his mother. Now, I'm not saying you don't have to cook, you don't have to clean. You should definitely do things for your man. Absolutely. But when it comes to motivating him and having to tell him to do this and tell him to do that, once you feel like you're nagging all the time and you push this man to do certain things that he should already want to do as a man, then it's time for you to leave. In my personal life, I've never needed a woman to tell me anything. I've just done it. I've never needed a woman to tell me to make that video, make content, change my life, make more money, because I've always been determined to live free, be financially free, and have my own time, be able to take vacations when I want. I've never needed anyone to tell me. I just do it. And that's the type of man you want. He should automatically want to just be better. But that being said, you should also be the woman that's worth changing for. So if you're a woman that has her own standards and her own boundaries, and she's a high value woman, men will automatically want to change and be better for you. So that's something to keep in mind. Number two, stop avoiding conflict. If something happens within the relationship and you want to talk about it, but you're scared that maybe it'll start an argument or whatever it may be, it's better to talk about it now than to talk about it later. Because I've dated women like this where things have happened and I was in the wrong, and they would hold it and they would just think about it, and it would start mental warfare in her head. And it only makes things worse when you don't communicate. It's important to communicate whenever things happen. And she would hold on to things, and then something else would happen. She would hold on to that until it became so big, and it'd be 8, 9 different things that I've done wrong and I had no clue about. How could I ever fix anything if I'm not being told what I need to fix? And because people make mistakes. We're humans. You're human, I'm human. We're all humans. We're going to make mistakes. Now, if you don't explain and talk to your partner about the things that are upsetting you, things will never get better, and they will only get worse. Communication is probably the most important thing in a relationship. What's more important than communicating with your partner? And good communication, something I've had to learn. It's important that we communicate because things can get misunderstood very easily. Number three is to never fund a man's lifestyle. The man's supposed to be funding your lifestyle. You should never have to fund a man's lifestyle. If he's broke, he should not be dating. You should leave his broke ass to get some money. If the man has potential, then fine. If you think he has ambition or whatever, and he has a great future, then if you want to stay with that man, I'm not saying don't, but if you have to fund his whole lifestyle and he's not actively working to get a car, this guy is carless, and he lives with his mother, or he lives with his parents, why are you funding his lifestyle? He barely has any drive to do better. He should be focused on that. He doesn't have time to deal with you. He doesn't have time for a woman. He barely has time for himself to do what he wants to do. He needs to work harder. So never fund a man's lifestyle. Number four is don't become the female version of him. What I mean by this is you don't need to mold yourself to be just like him. Just because he likes certain things doesn't mean you need to like these things, right? I've seen this happen before in my own life where one of my friends really liked baseball, and then the girl that he was with all of a sudden loves baseball, but she never talked about baseball and she never really knew anything about baseball, but she just liked it because he liked it. And she wanted to be like the girl who's really likable. It's important that you're your own person. Usually men and women are interested in completely different things. I might be into pool, which I am. I love playing pool, but most women that I date hate pool. It's boring. Just fine. Or they like it, but not to like, they don't like it as much as I do, right? I'll watch pool and shit like that. So if I turn on pool and we're hanging out, and that woman is going to fall asleep because it's boring to her. And I don't blame her. Just because I like something doesn't mean you have to like it. And I understand why pool is pretty boring. It's pretty boring to watch if you don't really understand the sport and understand really what's going on. Even if you do understand it, I still understand why it might be boring to someone. So just be your own person, have your own hobbies, your own life. really. And trust me, that's a lot more attractive. Number 5, never make excuses for his disrespectfulness. So if a man disrespects you, he calls you out of your name, or he does anything just disrespectful, never make excuses for these behaviors. Clearly that's a red flag, and you don't want to deal with a man like that. If a man disrespects you multiple times, he's going to continue to disrespect you. And that's probably somebody you don't want to be with anyway. Number 6 is to never give him access without making effort first. These dudes who go on dates with women and be like, hey, you want to split the check? I think that's the most beta male submissive shit a man could ever do. It doesn't matter if he invited you out to the dinner or not, or you invited him. He should always pay, in my opinion. He is the man. He is supposed to be a leader. The problem today is men are acting more like women and women are acting like men. And that's a problem. This should not be it. Men should be men, women should be women. We have roles for a reason. That's how the world was for many years. It's only been from the last 10, 20 years things have been inversed and changed and flipped and confusing for both genders. So it's important that he is a man up front, and you should never give access to a man who isn't paying for the first dinner. He's not being a man. He's not being a leader. He's showing all these, he's being lazy. He's barely texting you back. He's texting you once a week. In the beginning, you don't have to text like crazy often. You guys are just getting to know each other. You should be able to get to know each other during the dates, right? But if you have been with a man for a while and he's showing you very minimal effort, then he should lose access to you. Access denied. It should be like a 7-day trial, right? You should end it if he doesn't pay. That's how you should be with men. Because at the end of the day, men are going to cherish what they have to work for anyway. He should have to work for you. Now, I'm not saying your standards should be absolutely unrealistic, but he should have to work to get you. Next is to never chase after a man when he's disinterested. This will never work. If he tells you, hey, I'm just not ready for a relationship, or he just shows you that he's not that interested in you, then baby, leave that man alone. He's gonna waste your fucking time. I'm telling you. You're not gonna change him. He ain't gonna change. He spent his whole life being the man that he is. He's only gonna change when he wants to change, or he might change for the next girl once he found out that he lost a good woman. So that's the thing. If he's disinterested, go to the man who's already interested. You don't have to prove yourself. As long as you've done the work as a woman to be a high value woman and to be something worth fighting for, you do not have to show interest in any man that is disinterested in you. That brings me to number 8. And the last one. This is an important one. Please listen to this one. Never lower your standards for a man. Never lower your standards just to keep a man. Because the moment you do that, that's the moment you lose your power as a woman. All that feminine energy, you can forget about it. You just lowered your standards. Now, if you're going to have high standards, and most women do, you need to be a woman who also holds herself accountable. She's also a woman a man is willing to fight for and is willing to die for, really. If you're not a woman who is willing to die for, you should not have high standards. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Ask yourself and be genuine. Am I worth a man who has money, has his shit together, has good hygiene, smells good, he's 6 foot tall, everything that a woman wants? Am I worthy of that? If the answer is no, then you need to work on yourself before you get one of these men, because he's just gonna treat you like a piece of meat, I guarantee you. The man that you want has all the options in the world. So you have to be the woman who is better than all the average women. You cannot be like everybody else. You are competing. I hate that people say that women are not competing. They absolutely are, just like men are competing. We are always competing. Everyone is competing for views on the internet. Everyone is competing for a better house, for a better apartment, for a better job, for more money. Everyone is in competition all the time. So you should work on yourself. You should become the best version of yourself no matter what. And once you do that, you will realize how much easier it is to get men to actually commit to you, not just want to have sex with you. That is important. And that is exactly what I teach inside my community, my private community that I have, where I teach women how to be their best self, how to self-elevate, how to self-improve, how to get men to actually commit to you. That's important because most women, they get their most fulfillment from a family. And you cannot get a family without a man. So make sure you get a good one. You don't want a bum on the street, or one that has no ambition, one that barely works, one that doesn't treat you right, doesn't treat you like a queen, doesn't give you princess treatment. You need all of this. So it's important that you work on yourself before you even look for a man of high value. You need to be a high value woman. So if you're interested in that and working with me and talking to me, asking me questions, joining a community where women are actually serious about their future, you can go to the link in my description or the link in my bio to learn more. And until next time, make sure you like and subscribe if you like this video and want more dating advice. I'll see you next time. Peace.